Your dirty laundry.
Welcome, Sudbuds, to another cycle of Dirty Laundry Clean Confessions, a family podcast created for the next generation. Smarg can't wait to see what you'll become, little grandsuds. Live, pre-recorded from our family laundry room with Smarg, Haas, Otter, Silu, and sometimes not the real guest. Here we're hanging it all out on the line with ordinary people who are doing extraordinary things. In the room where famous people are loved, adored, and admired, however not invited. Except for the great Willie Nelson, of course. Thanks for joining us in the laundry room while we fold through life's journeys. Here we're keeping it fresh, washing through stains, and making colors a little brighter. What's next on your laundry list of life? Season 4. Let's get ready to tumble!
Dirty laundry.
Mercy, baby.
Dirty laundry.
Come clean on me, baby.
Dirty laundry.
Clean confessions.
Dirty laundry.
Yeah, baby. Got your confessions right here.
Dirty laundry.
We're back.
Hello! This is so
Season
exciting.
Season 4. Season 4.
We are so excited.
We did it. We should have brought some champagne.
We should
Yeah,
have.
we got some wine over there.
But we have wine,
Doesn't have the
beer,
pop
and
effect.
seltzer. Oh, pop open that seltzer real quick.
I already did.
Here, I'll pop open a beer.
We have a new sound effect, man. I'm sure he'll
He'll figure it out.
get on it.
But no, we're so excited to be here. We can't believe we've made it to season
I know.
4.
Someone was asking me, or we had a guest who was asking me the other day, like, how long have you guys been doing this?
Nice.
We have been doing this for 3 years.
Yeah.
And we had our 3-year anniversary party not
We
too long
did.
ago.
We had so much
That was
fun, you
good.
guys.
Oh my
Karaoke.
god, so fun. We
Yes.
rented that karaoke room for like 5 hours.
I know, it was so funny. Smarg had rented it for 2 hours, and the guy came in, and I go, please don't kick us out. And he goes, well, I came in to offer to rent it to you longer. And I'm like, oh, perfect.
Nice.
Perfect.
And then he came back again, and we're like, one more hour? And he goes, okay, but this is the last hour.
Dude, we could have stayed there all night, honestly. It was like a slow build. You know, people were like, I guess I'll try one song.
I think that's
And
the power
then
of alcohol.
the next thing you know, we have like 50 songs in the queue, and everyone's like, it's my
Pony
turn.
Club.
Yeah.
Yeah,
we had
did
people
Pink Pony
arguing.
Club like 3 times.
We had people arm wrestling on what to play next.
Oh,
I mean,
it was good.
we
It was
had
a
fun.
good time.
We did.
Oh
we
my
didn't get to stay
God.
too long.
That's
my
okay.
Family, but it was still really nice.
And we made it. We found somewhere where the kiddos could come. The grandsuds, all the little
Yeah.
grandsuds were there. It
All
was
the
perfect.
monkeys.
I think it was
great.
perfect.
Great turnout. We had some guests that came by, so that was wonderful. Yeah, it was fun. It's just crazy how far we've come.
I
3
know,
years.
and I
Yeah.
love it.
It's nuts.
And thank you guys again for doing this with me.
Well,
I won't get all
for making
teared
us
up.
a part of it.
And I'm serious. It means so much to me. It really does. In 3 years,
It's fun.
It's really cool to see it like come to fruition. Like this was just an idea that you
I
had
know.
3 years ago, and now
and I
Look
can
at us.
honestly say there are some family members that are like very surprised, but like
Very-
yeah.
they're like, you guys are doing really good.
Well, and Smarg
well,
has a
thank
lot
you.
of ideas.
you really do.
So for this to, I mean, you're brilliant, Smarge. You come up with all
Aw.
kinds of things. Your interior decorating is incredible, and you do have a brilliant mind. So it is just really fun to see like something come out of
Thank you.
one of your brilliant little thoughts.
A lot of little,
Yeah.
well, yeah.
Yeah.
And like I said, and we have so many great NTRGs lined up for season 4.
Yeah.
oh my gosh.
And
so
Haas,
many.
would you like to explain what season 4 is going to be about? What our theme, what we're going to try and touch on?
Yeah, I think so. Just even talking about how far we've come and all the great experiences we've had so far this season, we were really looking forward to telling people's next step in their lives, showing people their, talking about the next
Chapter.
cycle in your
Cycle.
wash.
Yeah,
your
the
next
next
chapter
cycle,
in
yeah.
your life. How did you phrase it again?
We put your next cycle on that laundry list of life.
I love it.
Yeah.
I love it. That's the best way to put it.
Yes.
Because everyone, we're all going through different changes.
Exactly.
No matter where you are in your life, whether it's, I'm planning my wedding, for
Yeah,
example,
tell
which
us
I'm
about
really
that, Haas.
excited about.
What's your
Yeah.
confession on that?
Yeah, I didn't realize how hard it was going to be. Everyone told me, oh boy, let me know if you need help. It's a whole whirlwind. And I was like, no, I got it. I'm a planner. It's a lot Because it's like a year long.
It's a lot. And I wonder if it's like that in other countries in a way. I
Oh
mean,
my
it's a
God.
lot. It's a lot of money. It's a lot
And
of
it's like-
time.
I just want to be married already. Like, I'm
Yeah.
sick of like, the planning stage was so fun for the first 6 months. And now it's like, wait, we're still planning this?
And we're
Is it
still,
over yet?
because every time you
It's
plan,
still
you have
not
to
here
write a
yet?
check out or you have to
Oh my
fork
God,
money
yeah.
over, right? Every
so
time.
expensive.
It's just like, this
So-
is crazy.
It's like a load of towels, right? It's just heavy and
yeah.
Yeah.
it's taking forever to dry.
And they'll
Yeah.
never dry.
Dry. They're never
I
going to
just want
dry.
to fold them and put them away and just
You know
have
You know, you're
marital
going to,
towels.
you're going to have wonderful, clean marital
and
towels. You
Mrs.
just have to wait a little while.
Just can't wait.
yes.
So I heard that you sent out your invitations.
I did this morning.
Yay. So what was that experience like?
It was really fun, actually. It was really cool just to like make it. It felt like somewhat official.
Mhm.
Like it's
Right.
obviously official.
Right, right.
But it just felt like, okay, we're doing it. Everyone's coming. Like this is our list. Everything's finalized.
And tell us
Like,
how
let's
you sealed these invites. Did you just
Oh.
put a little sticker
Oh,
on the
yes,
back?
please, Sudbuds, you will like this story. Do tell.
Yeah, I ended up.
And it was all cracked off and they...
The wax seal
Yeah,
stamp?
and I think, but what I did notice, it was very thick.
Well, so yeah, if it's too thick. So I did have an issue one time where the post office was giving me a hard time. They're like, we can't ship this. It's too thick, blah, blah, blah. I don't know. But no, it will go through. Don't stress, Haas. It's going to go through.
Yeah.
It's going to be fine. I do it every year. You're going
Just-
to be fine.
I didn't even think
That's
that was a
what Smarg.
possibility.
That's what Smarg does. She just adds a little bit of stress when you're feeling good about. I'm so sorry. I didn't mean to stress you out. It was just, and also
Hopefully they make it. Well,
Smart
if you
ju-
guys don't get invites, let me know. 'cause-
no.
I'll let
The
you
only
know.
thing that won't make it is the wax thing.
It
Oh,
makes it.
See what
That
I
would
mean?
be fine.
That's the only thing that wouldn't possibly make it. However, the way Smarge is thinking about mail was probably when she was 10 years old and saw a little clip on Mr. Rogers, right? I'm thinking things have changed since
Yes.
then. So I'm thinking it's fine because you're right. I've gotten text.
Text.
I've gotten mail from Otter and the stamp's fine.
Yeah. Well,
So,
and I've had some
yeah.
like returned back to me. So after it like went, I don't know, out to New York and didn't,
Make it.
there wasn't really someone
Return
in
to
New York, so return
sender.
to sender, and it still comes back in one piece.
Okay.
So I think the
Maybe like a
trick-
little rugged, but
Yeah.
it
Yeah.
looks, it
So what
still
we've
looks
learned,
good.
Sudbud, from this, Sudbuds, is if you're going to do the plastic wax stamp on your envelopes, you want it really thin. Because I think if it's too thick, it just cracks.
Yeah. Well, because it has to be able to go through. There's a sorter, right? A mail sorter.
Is
It's not
there
a
still?
person.
I don't know. Oh,
Oh, it's not a no.
it's a machine. Still.
Oh.
That's what I remember from
Yeah.
Mr. Rogers.
Yeah, it's a machine.
Okay.
So yeah, but I have to say, Haas, I think you're doing a seamless job.
Yeah, from
your
from
wedding
over
planning.
here, you always seem happy about it. We've always been waiting for
Something
maybe
to go wrong.
a tearful phone call or something, and you're always so positive and happy about it. You are the happiest bride-to-be I've met in
Seriously.
quite a while.
Yes.
I think what's been surprisingly so great about it is that my fiance and I like agree on everything.
Oh.
Or maybe he just like says yes to anything I say. I can't decide.
That makes it
Either
easier,
way,
though.
Yeah,
that
he
makes
just-
him perfect.
He really doesn't care
Yeah.
about like the little details, and I don't think I do either. So everything's just been so easy.
So it's
We're like,
easier because you
"Should
don't
we
get
do
wrapped
this?
up into
Should we
it.
do that? And he's like, yeah.
Nice.
And we're like, okay, done.
That makes it so.
It's
nice.
so easy.
So have you guys had any contention over any wedding thing?
Yeah. What's
Like where you were like,
the dirt?
absolutely not,
Not
sir.
really.
Oh, good.
He was upset with I think he was kind of bummed because some of his family that he didn't want to invite are kind of like
We're coming.
obligated
to be asking
invited?
basically like, can we come to the wedding? He's like, no.
Oh.
So I think he's kind of struggling with that a little bit.
But he is saying no.
yeah, he's being actually
Good for him.
very stern
So
about
he's
it.
setting
I was
his
surprised.
boundaries.
Yeah.
And you, I mean,
But like between but the planning stuff, not really.
Nice.
nice.
Yeah.
Oh,
I mean,
good.
maybe ask me in a few months. I
Smooth.
feel like
Say, well,
the
we will be
closer
checking
it'll
in.
get, maybe I'll
Yeah.
get more worried. But I don't know. It's been
No,
really seamless.
keep
We're
this
stoked.
this mentality because
Yeah.
you don't want to be stressed any more than you have to be.
Oh no.
Bachelorette
it's-
party plan?
Yes.
Yes.
Oh, that'll be
Yeah, we're going
fun.
to Breckenridge. We got
Wait, Keystone or Breckenridge?
Breckenridge.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I should know this. I'm just gonna show up. I don't know.
I'll send you the address.
Thank
We'll find
you.
it.
Okay.
Yeah, we're just gonna go up there and spend a nice little weekend up there, and
Can't wait.
I think I want to do like a pole dancing class.
Oh my
maybe.
god.
Nice.
I found one in
You dirty girl, you.
I can't
Well-
remember what. It's like in the mountains somewhere.
Nice.
So maybe we could do
Fun.
that one day.
Well, Otter, you did hear that we are really going to try and get a pole put in that room.
Oh yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Wouldn't that
Okay.
be cool?
It'd be great for
Okay.
exercising. I mean, we have the Pilates.
Exercising for batch parties.
Yeah,
you
for
name
anything
it.
and
For a
everything.
podcast recording.
Practicing our firefighting skills.
There you go.
I
When
love
do
it.
you not need a pole? A pole. I think
It's
you
so
always,
handy.
need,
it.
always need.
You
one.
always need
Yeah.
a pole.
There's always a good excuse to. have
Yeah.
one. Yeah.
Yeah.
But anyway,
Good
that's-
luck keeping the kids off that.
Oh God.
Well, that's the
Didn't
whole
think
thing.
about
There's
that.
several different types. There's ones that, of course, to me sound safer and they just stay there.
Yeah.
There's a couple of different models that are removable. One model that is removable, I looked it up, lousy reviews
Okay, not that one
God.
then.
because it's moving when you don't want it to move.
Yeah, no good.
So that's the whole thing. Like I haven't quite figured that out.
I think
What I
safety
in
is-
my head, what I want is I want the pole to just somehow telescope down from the ceiling
love
and then
it.
attach it to something on the floor
Like
Wait, that
suction.
would-
when we want
rad.
to do it.
Yeah. Is
like
that
a disco
thing?
ball,
Yeah.
but a pole.
Well, they're pole, but have it telescope
disco
down.
pole.
So it's stored in the ceiling,
Yeah.
right? And then just have it come down, and then there you go.
Is that a thing? Because we should invent that.
Oh my
Oh
god!
my god.
That's so cool.
Let's patent that right now.
We're gonna have to telescope stripper pole,
Love it.
telescoping stripper pole.
I feel like that might hurt. Because
Well, what I'm thinking, I've already thought that. Right.
ridges.
What I've
Ridges.
thought about it is, well, one, they're gonna have to make it really smooth, but as it's coming down, we'll just put like a sleeve or something over it,
Like a condom.
like a condom.
condom.
Yep.
Like a pole
Telescoping.
dance.
Yeah, it'll help.
Condom.
Yeah, it'll help with lubrication, chafing, lubrication. It'll help with
You'll
some of
slip
those
right
nerves.
off.
It'll help with. I think it'll help. But no, I
be
thought
good.
about that because
my
of the
God.
telescoping. I thought, okay, we're gonna have to put a sleeve on it to make it smooth. I've put a lot of thought into
It
this,
sounds like it.
I mean, I'm.
but
your
I think
first
that's
investor.
a great idea.
Yeah.
Could you see it like at office parties?
That'd be so cool.
Hey, come into Shirley's office. Look what comes out of her ceiling.
We gotta do some brainstorming. Let me spin on it.
I have a machinist I can contact.
Yeah.
Okay.
See
Would
what
that
they
be
can
funny?
figure out. Oh my
Okay,
God,
Side
that'd
Buds,
be so
we'll
cool.
keep you updated on the patent that we're going to file
patent pen.
for our
Patent
telescoping stripper pole.
pending. Love it.
Yeah.
For our real lap dance and
Lattes in the laundry room.
laundry
Yeah.
room. Yeah.
Lap dances, lattes, and laundry. Who can want more?
Are you looking to take your marketing to new heights? Are you trying to elevate your business? Then look no further than Burden Branding and Marketing. Burden Branding and Marketing. We do podcast production, event planning, strategic marketing. We will grow your business. Please contact Burden Branding and Marketing. We will take your business to new heights.
That's my next chapter. Pretty
Yeah.
excited.
Yeah, I'm
it's
excited for
exciting.
you. I
Get
can't
married.
wait. And I
Get
hope
hitched.
the Mr. Murray makes it. I heard you invited him.
Oh yeah.
I did. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
We'll see.
Well, if you
I
get
haven't
the,
heard anything
if
back
you get
yet.
the invite back, you'll know. It's happened to me. I've invited some famous people to things and
Did they ever send anything back to you?
no return to sender.
No return to sender. Well, one of our guests got a letter back from John Elway,
Oh, cool.
who used to be the quarterback of the Denver Broncos.
Oh yeah.
That was Mr. T. And he invited him to his high school?
yeah.
Oh, I do
graduation.
remember hearing this. Yep.
Yeah.
And he sent a letter saying, I am so sorry. I can't make it. But sent him a couple of things in this letter. And I've actually seen the letter, so it's a real thing.
Okay. Okay.
Adorable.
Are we sure Mr. T's brother didn't just write
That's
this letter?
actually-
Well, this is how I thought it
totally
was
what
true because I
happened, I
did
guess.
ask Mr. T's brother if I could see it because that's where it's at,
Oh,
actually.
okay.
And he said, "Well, it's in the safe." And I'm thinking, if his brother was fooling around with him, I don't think it'd
he wouldn't
keep it in a safe. So I'm like,
Well,
no, that's okay.
It's a family secret.
I
Why it's
guess.
on the thing.
yeah.
Yeah.
But he did get it, and yeah, it's real.
Nice.
So you never know. Hey, but real quick, any updates on your favorite inspirational famous person?
Mr. Bill.
Mr. Bill.
Not really. He's been like all over the media. Like he's been
He
doing
has.
interviews left and right, which is not like
I saw him on the Howard Stern show. Loved it.
Yeah.
It might have been a couple months ago, but loved it. He did a great
Yeah.
interview. I think as he's gotten older, his interviews have gotten better. I think when he was
really-
younger, he was very difficult.
He
Okay.
didn't do interviews. That's,
That's
the
true,
thing.
yeah.
He
He didn't
never
do a lot.
did, like real interviews. I have a book on him, and he would refuse to do them. So most of his interviews are like recent,
Right. Wait.
like when he was
yeah.
really popular and he was doing, all of his
Oh, yeah, I do
movies with
remember
like
something about that.
Caddyshack, like his first. He never did
Because
any
they
type of
tell you
interview.
you have to do so much for the junket or whatever. You have to serve your, do your little, get in the booth and
Yeah, he really
talk
would.
to all the magazine people.
But now he's like on all these podcasts. I think he was on Joe Rogan.
Maybe he got
recently.
in trouble though, because that is a thing. Like some celebrities get in trouble when they don't like do
Okay,
enough press for
But
their.
he's like 80. Like
Is
How
he
old
really
is-
80?
I don't
he's
think
like 75.
He's looking at me right now, and I'm like, he looks. 50
I love
over
this
there.
picture of him too. Because every
Are
now
those
and then.
flowers on his chin?
We'll talk about that in a minute.
What is he dead?
No.
Dude,
I'm gonna see.
don't.
No, I'm gonna see how old he is.
Don't
he has
even.
he has to make it to Haas's wedding. He can't die
He
yet.
can't die yet. He's got to show up. I don't think he would be getting in trouble now,
Yeah,
Bill
no,
Murray
that's a valid
is
point.
74 years
Oh
old.
my God, he is like almost 80.
Yeah, he doesn't seem that way.
He's
I
a
think
young
the other
soul,
reason,
but he's definitely
yeah,
getting up there.
is that movie that just came out called
Yeah.
The Friend
Yeah.
about a dog.
You
and
told me
I'm
about
wondering
that.
if that
Is it good?
why- I heard it's based on a real story.
Oh.
I heard it's phenomenal. There is a dog in it, so I can't imagine it not having a lot of
I was
tears.
gonna say, sounds
You
like
know?
a
I was gonna say, if the dog
tearjerker.
dies, I can't watch
But
it.
well, where does the dog not die usually in a movie? If there's a dog in the movie.
Yeah,
I mean, yeah.
Airbud?
Okay, Airbud is good. Yeah, yeah. And then the
touche.
okay. And what's that one? Oh, Far From Home or Away From or the
Homeward
Homeward Bound.
Homeward Bound. There you go.
They made
They
it,
Yeah,
did
they don't
make it back
die.
home.
They
They
go
made
through
it.
a
Okay,
rough
you're right.
patch.
They
but
go through-
don't
okay.
die.
Okay.
dude. That movie.
Well, I'm
You
looking
guys
forward to
watched that
seeing it.
recently?
My husband made me watch that for the first time ever.
They like move their mouths, or no, they don't move their mouths. So it
But they're
looks-
talking.
But they're talking.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So funny.
Yeah,
So yeah,
Anyway.
Sled Buds, look that movie up. It's an old one. That's from like the 90s, isn't it, or something?
think so.
Or early 2000s.
it's an old
or-
one. Yeah,
Probably, yeah.
I wonder how
90s.
that'll look to the grandsuds in 20 years, huh?
ancient.
Well, that was the other thing I was going to bring up with that wax stamping.
Yeah.
I mean, imagine that's how they used to do it. Like in the what? Do you know what year, Otter, that started?
Oh, wax stamping. I mean, ever since they started sending out letters, I guess.
Well, no, I think it started with the king and queens because they would be sending secrets back and forth to whomever, to the
And if-
earls, to
And
all
if
that.
the seal
was
was
cracked,
broken,
right,
they would know
right.
someone had seen it and read it.
Exactly. So I'm thinking it's like maybe 1400s or something, or
Let's look
but
into
Well, I do not envy them because
can you imagine that was they had no Evites,
they didn't have text messaging,
and can you imagine
DMing.
Get DMing that Smarg has learned what that means now, and yeah, no, like, and talk about like no instant gratification whatsoever.
Right.
I mean, you have to really
You gotta
wait.
wait like 2 months.
You
a
ready for
response
this?
back.
Yes.
You ready for
yes.
this? As early as 2000 BC, the Egyptians were using them.
Okay.
So this is
No.
That's what I'm
Smarg
saying.
is
It's
off.
been around forever.
Yeah, Smarg
Yeah.
was
Ever.
off. Okay, the Egyptians.
Wow.
were-
Yeah.
Well, okay.
Rome, Greece, Egypt.
Now, do you know if it was something used just by royalty or higher up people, or was it used by everyone?
I don't know that one.
Oh, okay. Just
13th
curious.
century, made out of beeswax. The Pope used lead. That's great.
Oh. Sorry.
Yeah. So, anywho, yeah, wax seal stamps. There you go, folks.
They are a bitch. So definitely get. Do you have to get a special type of glue gun, or can you use?
You just want to make sure it's the right size.
Okay.
So if you just get like the standard size, 'cause
Okay.
I had a mini one and it wasn't working because most of the sticks they sell.
Woohoo! Season 4.
video.
Ew.
Let's get ready to tumble.
Yeah.
Okay.
But anyway,
So Bill Murray, Sled Buds, look at that movie. I mean, it's supposed to be really good. I'm sorry, I don't know what it's on. I don't know if it's a Netflix. I'm not sure, but
maybe it's
Bill
in
Murray, and it's
theaters.
called The Friend. Maybe it is a theater thing
Maybe it
first.
hasn't made it to even theaters yet.
So, but I know they're releasing it in the next couple weeks. And so
Nice.
whenever this is released, it will be released. Do you have any
Updates on
updates on your inspirational famous people?
So yeah, Lana has just released 2 new songs. She is notorious for never getting her any of her projects done on time. So it's been like a year, and she keeps saying she's going to do this album, and it hasn't come out. It's been dropped. But she's got 2 new songs coming out, or have already come out. And then, my other inspiration's dead, so there's not much to say about that one. Marilyn.
Yeah.
They're
R.I.P.
They're discovering things all the time.
That's true.
So this is 2025.
Yes.
And didn't they just release some more
Well, they released some stuff on JFK.
JFK? They
Yeah.
released more JFK stuff.
Yeah.
And that was always like a scandalous story together. So I
Yeah.
do wonder if more is going to come out.
Yeah,
You never know, because I think it's weird how throughout the years, little tidbits every now and then have come out about Marilyn Monroe.
Oh, I am thoroughly convinced that it was not accident or suicide.
Me
I think it
too.
was a plot.
Me too.
Because she was involved very deeply with the Kennedys.
Whoa.
And I've read some good books on it too.
Yeah.
So do you think
Yeah.
it was a Kennedy related, or do you think it was a mafia related?
That's a good point.
Because
I kind of
weren't
think it
the
was
Kennedys
the
in cahoots with the mafia?
Well, I kind of think it was the Kennedys like trying to cover up their whole. Because it wasn't just JFK; it was also Robert.
Oh.
He was also
Was he seeing her as well? I know he
He
was
was.
involved, but I didn't realize he was seeing her. I thought he was kind of the
my
go-between messenger.
understanding is he was potentially sexually involved.
Wow.
okay.
So there was a lot to cover.
Well,
up
if you
there,
can sleep
right?
with the Kennedy brothers, I guess.
And there was like this whole thing about how like before the police were even called, like there was an ambulance seen in front of Marilyn's house, and then like hours of silence, and then like an ambulance actually came to take her body away. So
Right.
they suspect that like
And it wasn't even really a house, right? She was at a hotel in a bungalow, wasn't she?
no, she was in her house.
Oh, I thought it was a bungalow.
No, she
or
was in
something.
her house in California,
Oh,
and she
okay.
was in her guest house for whatever reason.
Maybe that's okay.
She was in,
okay.
and apparently the maid or the housekeeper found her. But I don't know. I'm convinced she was murdered.
Yeah, me
So,
too.
yeah.
But you never know. So,
She had a rough life.
hey, Marilyn,
Yeah.
there might be more stuff that comes out about you,
Yeah.
and we will be here to report it.
But I love Marilyn because she was such like a force to be reckoned with in her time. Like in
Yeah.
her time,
Absolutely.
it was like, women do as they're told, they get underpaid, and they accept it. And in her time, she was like, no, like I know I'm deserving of more. I should get
Exactly.
more. Like I'm gonna fight for
You're
like
gonna
what
get
I
what
believe
you want.
in.
But
Yeah, what
also
you
she
She
deserve.
wouldn't
felt-
keep quiet, and I think that's why she was murdered because
Yeah.
That could be, especially for
yeah.
was it in the no in the 50s.
62. She was murdered in 62, I believe.
I thought
60.
when did JFK? Oh, he died in 63.
Yeah,
so-
he died
okay,
right after her.
right after her.
So I'm always curious, where was that leaked? I don't know. I don't know. Hollywood gets dirty.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, stay
You
tuned.
have always loved her though, even
I
when
have.
like
the other
ever
thing,
since I've known you.
Yeah, the other thing I liked about Marilyn Monroe is she didn't feel like she knew you're going to deal with me because I deserve that.
Yeah.
And she never felt like she had to make herself look less pretty or make herself be less verbal, or you know what I mean? She was like, she wanted to be a woman
Yeah.
Mhm.
and look pretty,
Yeah.
and she also wanted to be respected.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like
Imagine
how-
that in the frickin' 50s and 60s.
why is that so much to ask?
It's a lot,
for,
though,
you know?
sometimes. You know what I
Back
mean? But
then,
I
yeah.
loved that she was like, no, I'm like what Otter said, I'm doing it this way. So let's see. Who else do we have on our, well, Martha.
Yeah, what's going on with Martha?
Oh, wow. Well, okay, Groundside. So when you look back in history, you are going to see that there was a flight to, some people say outer space, some people say orbit, some people say space, with was it 5 women?
5 or 6.
5 or 6 women.
I
5?
think it was 6.
6 women that were selected. I'm sorry, I should know all their names, and I do not. And it was a big deal to promote an all-woman team to go into space.
Mm-hmm.
And
And it backfired massively.
it really did. It really backfired because, well, one, they're not really in orbit. It was a 10-minute flight. And I do kind of think this is fun to talk about a little bit for the grandsons if they're listening to this in 20 or 30 years.
Yeah.
Because
Yeah.
who knows what's going to be going on back and forth through orbit, through space, through whatever.
Right.
We might be
But
living
anyway,
in
so
space.
I think it was
Yeah.
about 11 minutes long, this flight.
Yeah.
Bezos was he's the owner of Amazon, and that was his company. Is it Blue Horizon, I think it's called?
Sounds right.
That sounds right.
And so they went up in space, and they were able to feel what it's like with no gravity. And then they came back down. This all about 11 minutes. Holy moly. There's nothing. There's no one in the media saying anything nice about it.
No.
I know.
Because it
It's-
costs so much money just to put a rocket into space.
Right.
And then the women, were, their hair looked perfect. They had great
Right.
this and that and everything. I sort of see what they're saying about the carbon footprint, all of that,
Right.
Yeah.
those complainers. However, I don't remember anything like this when the last one went up with William Shatner, who's a great time actor,
Right.
been acting since the early.
No one hated on
60s.
that.
There was no hating on those men.
Yeah. It was a lot of hate.
Do you think it's
It
like
was
we're in a
really,
different
really unfortunate.
era though? Because like we are in a very like turmoil political climate right now,
Mm-hmm.
and Bezos is like kind of part of that, and like we're also like very aware of like carbon footprints and the environment. So do you think people are like why are we putting so much attention into something like this when like our government is falling apart?
Yeah.
I can't argue.
don't know.
I can't argue
I don't
that
have an
very
opinion
well.
on it.
However, if you YouTube it or whatever, and speaking of YouTube, Sod Buds, don't forget to subscribe, or a thumbs up.
Yeah, we've really vamped up our YouTube.
Yes, we
Yeah.
have.
Check
But
it out.
anyway,
Thanks to CeeLo.
if you look at it, the argument of why they're doing it for research and that type of thing is pretty compelling when they put it through, like looking at our environment and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So I can't really argue that,
Yeah.
but it is compelling. But I am not on either side. Like
I don't have a side on it either.
because I don't know so much about it. All I know is it's got to be so much freaking money.
Yeah.
I mean,
But then do we tear a hole in our ozone every time we blast a rocket up there
no.
or something?
I don't know. I don't think so.
Are we
Honestly,
damaging
the
anything?
ozone
Is already
pretty
screwed.
fucked up.
Yeah, that's true.
Honestly, I don't really. I see the pros and the cons.
Yeah.
If I had an opportunity to go to space, even for 11 minutes, I would do it.
You would do it.
100%. 100%. I've always wanted to go to space.
I would think I would blow up. I don't know if I would enjoy it, so I think I'd give it to someone like you that wouldn't think that.
Agreed.
mean,
not for me.
If it
Not
was,
for me either.
I
Not
would-
for you, Otter. Mm-mm.
I'd much rather go for longer than
You know
that,
what?
But wouldn't that be
You
cool?
can be our Gail King, and we'll be your Oprah. Meaning you can be in the rocket, and we will be on the ground
Cheering you on.
Cheering you on.
Deal.
No, I wouldn't. But anyway, back to Martha.
I was going to say, how's this
They were
relate?
saying
Did she
first-
go?
No, there was like first women, or whatever. Well, Martha did ride on the shuttle.
Oh,
She did?
seriously?
So look,
Why wasn't she pictured?
I guess because there was such a difference. I mean, it's still space travel, right? But there's such a difference between an actual rocket and a shuttle that they didn't count it
Okay.
as.
Oh.
I don't know, but yeah, she tweeted out like she did it in a very proper Martha way
Yeah.
to remind everyone that yes, I think I am a woman and I traveled on a shuttle.
Yeah.
So she put it
Yeah.
out there like no one mattered about that. So that goes back to what you just said. Do you think it's our times right now and what people are choosing to pick on and be upset about? And
I
do you
think so.
I mean,
I
that's
think
crazy.
I mean, you tell me, Smarg, because I am still relatively new to life in comparison to. I just haven't seen that many elections, is what I'm trying to say. And I feel like, have they always been like this? Because I feel like it has
No,
not always
they
been
haven't.
this heated and this much people against each other. Like, I think you had mentioned at one point 9/11, everyone came together. And I feel like if 9/11 were, or like some terrorist attack were to happen again to the United States, knock on wood, it's not going to, but if it were, I really don't think like we would all come together. I think it'd be everyone pointing fingers at each other. Like,
Mm-hmm.
this is your candidate's fault. This is your party's fault.
Right.
So I think we're just in a really rough patch right now. America is just,
I think
Yeah.
it is the most divided we've ever seen
Yeah,
America
very
since the
divided.
Civil War.
I was going to say, well,
But
we did
I've
go to
only been
war.
here for so long. But also, I wanted to say that Smarg has always had this theory about America.
oh, do tell.
And I remember even telling Poppy this in the late 90s. We would be talking about politics or whatever, and America is a great place to be and everything. And I'd say, hold on, guys. America is so young when you compare it to the rest of the world
Right.
and all the other countries we're dealing with everywhere. We are the baby.
Yeah,
right?
100%.
And I said, the whole world has been cheering us on for a very long time to see what we will do. Like like you do with a little toddler, with a baby. Like, oh my gosh, here's a new baby. You know, oh my gosh, let's see what they can do. Oh, I want to watch that. I want to be a part of that. I love that. I love that. I love that. And I said, however, and this is what I was saying in the late 90s, we're bound to go through our teenage years.
Yes.
Oh, I think it's
Like a
here.
growing pain. And then when I first heard our president was running for the first time, I turned to Poppy, and what was that, 2016?
Yeah.
Sounds right.
I turned to Poppy and I said, here we go. Here are the teenage years.
Yep.
Here
For
we
real.
go. No one's going to like us. Everyone's going to want to freaking avoid us.
Yep.
We're going to be a pain in the ass to everybody. We're going to be coming up with freaking crazy ideas. And Poppy was like, oh my God, you couldn't have pegged it any better in the 90s. And I'm like,
Yeah.
that was my analogy. Like,
Yeah.
we are going to be hated for a while.
Yeah.
Yeah.
However, nobody wants to be judged for their entire life about their teenage years.
Oh,
So
there we
I am
go.
hoping that this is a huge growing pain, that our baby country is going into some sort of adulthood. And when we come out of it, maybe we'll have more respect.
Do you
And
need to be a spokesperson for the United States so the rest of the world can see it through that lens?
I
I don't think
hope-
they
yeah.
do, but that is such a
It's a
very valid
Great way to
at
look
it.
at it. Yeah.
Well, hey guys, why don't we put that on a podcast and like put it out there?
For the world to
For
listen
the
Yeah.
world to listen to.
Okay.
Great idea.
Because if the people that like I think that are in this room feel the same, and I think we're all pretty much kind of feeling the same way.
yeah.
God, just remember, we're going to get through those teenage years, and we're going to come out the other side.
Yes.
You know,
Yes, we will.
and it's just we can't have it both ways. You know, we have to have some growing pains too. We had the big depression in the 30s. We've been in a war. I don't know how long somewhere or another.
Always.
Yeah. So we're going through stuff, but we're going to come out the other side, and then I think we'll be one of those that's really respected in a country that, again,
I
people.
hope
Eventually.
so.
Eventually.
Because
Yeah.
I'm kind of considering moving at this point.
Yeah.
And that's what's sad, and I totally
I
understand
know.
that side too. But the people that are considering moving are the people that we need to stay.
Right. No, that's
The people
valid.
that end up staying is if that's all we have,
Right.
well, then it's not going to be an America we
Right.
know or that we
Exactly.
want or that
Right.
we want to vote for.
Right.
So I'm just hoping that this is a little blip.
Yeah.
Little speed bump. We'll get over it.
there.
I just hope.
Yeah.
Okay.
But
so anyway,
anyway.
I loved how Martha reminded everybody of
Yes.
that and just said no. Snoop's been busy. Snoop's on.
Snoop's always busy.
He has
Snoop
some.
What does he not
Doggy.
do?
Yeah, he's advertising. I can't even think of the latest thing he was advertising. Oh my gosh. Back to Martha real quick. Did you see Martha Stewart's commercial for Skechers? Have you guys seen it?
No.
If you guys want a good, I think it's a 30-second laugh, go for it. Oh my God. And they
Why?
said it was a Super Bowl commercial, and I didn't see it,
Oh.
but I guess I'm not really into the
do
Super
you
Bowl.
watch
But
football?
well, it was kind of around, and I think if they said there was going to be a Martha commercial, I definitely would have watched
Yeah.
that.
But sometimes the commercials come
But
so
it's
quick.
hilarious.
Maybe you
This-
went to the bathroom or
but-
got a drink
yeah,
or something.
because it is a quick commercial.
Okay.
But speaking of Martha
I'm going to look
and
into that.
Wait,
Snoop,
so
they
what
are
about
great advertising Skechers.
what about Willie?
And then Willie, of course, is touring. And then I get to go see Willie Nelson and Bob Dylan at the Hollywood Bowl in May 2025.
And happy late birthday, Willie. by
Yeah.
the way.
Happy late birthday, Willie. Willie.
We
Yeah.
love you, Willie. That'll be so fun. This will be your second year going out there, right?
Yep. Second time I went when he turned 90.
Mm-hmm.
And then I'm going when he turned 92. So I'm looking forward to it. Get to see Bob Dylan, Billy Strings, Nathaniel Ratcliffe and the Night Sweats, Sheryl Crow. There's going to be some.
Oh my God.
Yeah, it's going to be great.
That
it's
is
going
a
to be fun.
lineup. Let me
Yeah,
tell
that
you.
It
is
will
a
be.
lineup.
It's never disappointing when Willie's around. That's for sure. So, and Poppy's going with me this time.
Fun.
So Willie is busy touring. So that's the update on my famous people that we love and adore. However, can't be in the laundry room with us,
Except
That's
Great
awesome.
Willie Nelson.
except for the great Willie Nelson, of course. Oh, and our producers, Willie H. and H. Nelson.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing well.
They are.
Yep, they made it through another year without dying from their vaccinations.
I was
so-
going to say they're healthy right now. They don't have any
knock
eye
on wood.
issues
Yeah,
or
knock on-
surgeries
yeah,
coming
knock on
up.
wood.
Smarge, that reminds me, I have to ask you.
Mhm.
You were having a massive bee problem.
Oh,
Oh,
And I'm sure you're probably going to bring this up in another podcast later, but I just have to know, has it been resolved?
it's been resolved.
Okay.
First, they're honeybees.
Yeah.
Okay, and
Sweet
you
little
can't.
honeybee.
you can't spray. It's against spraying, and it's a big
'Cause-
fine if
because
you
they're
get caught.
honey-
I was gonna say, is that a law?
Yeah,
But you can spray
like
wasps.
a 2,000. Yeah,
But not honey.
not honeybees because I guess because of the honey or because
And
they're more.
they
they're
pollinate.
Well, I
so-
are they
think
kind of
wasps-
instinct as well? And wasps, there's
Oh.
so many wasps, and
Okay,
there's
that's
not
what it
enough
is.
honeybees. I
Because
think.
honeybees are endangered.
I
But
don't think
wasps do pollinate, I believe.
I don't know. They're just sons of bitches,
Yeah,
and they
they are
sting and they hurt
sure
and
they
they're
do
mean.
too.
I think
sure
they
they
do
do too.
pollinate, but they just are little
Right.
fuckers.
Yeah.
So these are honeybees, and we've had this problem off and on. Actually, I shouldn't say we. Our neighbor, which is right to the south of us, has had this problem off and on. And what happens is a queen bee gets in there, and then at the beginning of the season, really, like out in our backyard, I went out. It was like what you saw in a cartoon. It was a big black cloud, and it was so loud that you and I would raise our voice to talk to each other.
You sent us the video.
Wow.
Yeah.
And it was
Yeah,
terrifying.
Nelson, my dog, like all the dogs were running to go outside, and all of them ran out. Nelson got to the door and just stopped and was like, "I ain't going out."
Oh, you
Because
probably heard it.
he heard it, he
Yeah.
knew it, he sensed it. He's like, "Forget that, we're going to the front yard." So it was pretty incredible. What had happened is they got into the pillars
Yeah.
of the neighbor's deck. So
Wow.
they first had to call in. I felt so bad for him. They had to call in a contractor to take down the facing, like the stone, the rock, and everything.
That was this
Oh
year?
my
Because this isn't
God.
the first year.
No,
So that was this year they
no.
did this.
A couple years ago, they
Oh my
hired someone to get the
gosh.
queen bee, and they thought they did, and that didn't take care of it. So this time, just last week, so the contractor comes in, takes all the facing off. Then this bee guy comes in, and I'm watching all this, you guys, from my back deck, and it's I'm finding it. I'm feeling bad for my neighbors, but finding it just something to keep me amused. So he comes in full bee suit and everything,
Whoa.
and this vacuum looking thing, and these boxes and everything, and he's basically vacuuming
No
the
way.
bees out of the pillars and then
Whoa.
putting them in these boxes.
Uh-huh.
And so I went out there, and Celia was here,
Mm-hmm.
and I think he was out there eating lunch or something. So I'm like, I'm going to make this a podcast moment. Like, I'm curious. So I start talking to him. His name's Doug the beekeeper. And he's not a beekeeper. Because I said, "Oh, are you a beekeeper?" He says, "No, I am not a beekeeper. I am a bee harvester."
Oh.
I said, "Oh, do tell, what is a bee harvester?" And he said, "A bee harvester is who you would come to get your bees if you want to be a
Relocate.
beekeeper, if you want to have honey and stuff like that."
Okay.
And so I guess there's different breeds
He's
of
like-
bees and
He's
stuff.
like
I don't know.
the bee dealer.
The bee
You go to
he
your
is the
bee
bee
dealer.
dealer and grower, I think, because he's like, I have my own breeds or something. And I'm like, oh, wow, who knew?
Yeah.
Wow.
So we had a great conversation, and yeah, he's going to be on the podcast. So this will be
Ooh.
fun to talk
Oh,
to
I
him
can't
about it.
Wait.
Yes, I can't wait either.
So yeah, the bee problem. But anyway, it's been resolved.
Okay.
Now, everyone swears they're not going to come
I
back.
was gonna say,
I do not believe it
is this guaranteed? Why
No.
do they keep coming back? Why?
because the queen bee keeps coming back. I don't know if it's
Well-
the queen bee or what, but it keeps
but
coming
she
back.
likes
Or
the
she-
spot for whatever
I
reason.
Yeah.
think it's kind of like ants. You know how ants can come back to the same location every year?
No, I didn't know
I
that.
didn't know
Yeah.
that
I
either.
didn't know that.
Yeah.
Oh,
They come
okay.
back and they like every summer.
But
or
wait,
the
isn't that
beginning
called?
of
Wait.
spring.
Well, we're surprised by ants. Don't other animals isn't that called migration or something?
Yeah.
Like butterflies do that, ducks do it, everybody.
But it can't be the
Birds do
same
it.
ants. Their lifespan is not that long.
It's probably the same colony.
Yeah,
though.
like
yeah,
they
that's what I
like,
mean.
they like lay their
Colony.
eggs or something. I don't know how it works.
And
And,
I-
then they
Yeah.
come back in the same areas. You
I
know-
think
you
it's
don't
in
never
them.
heard of that?
That's what I mean. That's why
No.
I said I think it's
I'm sure
in
it's
them.
real.
Instinctual.
Because if you think about bees, don't live very long either, but it's in them to keep.
yeah.
This is like
Right, but
the
where,
fourth or
where
fifth
do you-
time we've had this many bees, and
They're
it's
probably-
hilarious to watch. You guys, if you want to have a laugh, watch the people on the trail because we have that trail behind us,
yeah.
and they'll be like walking along, and then they'll see the black cloud, and then they'll be
swarm.
like, whoop, going the other way.
Yeah,
I'm
yeah, I
not going down
bet.
there. But they're only there for like a day, and then he sucked them out, and they're gone. But they'll be back next year.
Oh, they
literally today, I was walking through my neighborhood and I just hear, and I look over and there's this tree covered in bees. I've never seen it before in my life. I was shocked.
Why do they do that?
It was so weird.
Was it- were they hornets or were they bees
thousands.
or were they wasps?
I think they
Do you
were
know?
wasps.
Wasps.
Oh,
I
But
heard
there were so many
it's a
in
certain,
this.
I think I
tree.
know why. That it's a certain type of tree that puts off a certain type of sap that they like
Oh, maybe yeah.
because
maybe.
that's our tree in the backyard. And
I
that's-
had
yeah.
never seen it.
And it gets loud.
It was so loud. And the dog was like freaking out.
Is this close to your house? Because
It's in my neighborhood, but yeah, not like that. Yeah,
does somebody have responsibility, I hope? Ooh.
I'm sure they do. But yeah, I remember this even last year, like going out into your backyard, there'd be like dead bees and
Yep.
stuff on the ground. So if you
Those were
you could
wasps.
step on
Yeah,
them,
those were
though.
wasps. And it's because of the tree and
Yeah.
the certain wasp thingies. So.
Yeah, that was bad.
Do you get bored when you're folding your laundry? Do you need a podcast to listen to help you get through the tedious task? Then look no further than Dirty Laundry Clean Confessions Podcast. The Dirty Laundry Clean Confessions Podcast, though sometimes mildly inappropriate, is a wonderful way to pass the time while you're doing the tedious work of folding the laundry. We keep your brights a little brighter and your whites a little whiter, and we help you get through the day. We air every other Thursday on all major streaming platforms, including Spotify. You can also find us on YouTube and Instagram. Dirty Laundry, Clean Confessions, folding out.
So, Otter, what's your next on your laundry list in life and
Yeah.
everything, you know? Are you going to be a beekeeper, bee harvester?
No. No, so I think what I'm really trying to focus on this year is, I did just go back to work after being off for 7 months. And then I've been trying to juggle like working and being mom. And so I think this whole next chapter is really just embracing being a working mom. And I just had
Nice.
no idea like how hard I knew it would be hard. And I wouldn't change it, I'm really glad to have
I
both.
understand.
I'm glad to have like my job and I'm glad to have like my mom moments. And I have like respect for stay-at-home moms like so much more than I ever did because I don't know how they stay at home all day with the little one.
There's
And
no
not-
way to try and describe it unless you do it.
Yeah, it's got to be like so isolating,
Mhm.
And I don't know a whole lot of working moms. Like most of the moms I know are stay-at-home moms, so like major props to them. But yeah, my next chapter is just kind of focusing on keeping that balance between being a working mom,
Right.
being a mom, and working. Because I
Right.
do love my job. I really do love what I do.
Right.
And
that
but I
helps
obviously really love being a mom.
Right.
too.
And that helps with the isolation because that's a real thing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
You know my friend Murphy.
I don't know. Yes,
And
Murphy. I
Murphy,
know
yeah.
Murphy.
And she, like, we had kids around. She only had one. I had 4. But our first we had around the same time,
Yeah.
but 3 years apart. But, close enough.
Yeah.
And I just remember this one time we went camping. We're in the motorhome, and I just say something like, she goes, "Hey, so what we talk almost all the, we talked at least once or twice a week. I mean, we were always around each other, but never really talked." And I sat down and go, "I don't know, I'm just feeling so freaking lonely." And she's like, "Oh, me too."
Oh,
You know what I mean? And just that alone helped. And
Yeah.
what we
Yeah.
found was, that was right after I just had my second, so I wasn't at work or anything. So I'm home with 2, and they're 2 years apart.
Yeah, that's
And then she has her 5-year-old, and they're trying to work into like a preschool routine, and she's struggling, and they're both, and just being able to say, "I'm lonely," and someone else going, "Oh my God, me too."
Right. Yeah.
So you should always have that person or people, just say it out loud, get it out of
Oh
you.
yeah. Oh yeah. No, I
Get it
definitely
out of
have
you.
like a good
That's great.
network of like moms
Of
that I can chat
mommies.
with.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't know. Everyone's experience is different and it's their own.
Yep.
And yeah, but that's my next chapter. It's just taking care of little Audie. We're in a rough age right now because she's at the age where she is becoming more and more aware. She wants to do things. She knows what she wants to do, but she doesn't know how to do it. She doesn't know how to communicate it. So there's a
Right.
lot of like screeching and
Yep.
whining because she doesn't have the words to express, and she knows more than she can express.
Right,
So
right.
she knows what's going on, but she can't fully communicate it.
That's frustrating for
It's
everybody.
frustrating for all of us.
Yeah.
It really is. I'm like, I'm so sorry. I don't know why you're screaming, and
It's a
I wish I
horrible
could help you.
frustration. Yeah, it is.
Yeah.
I remember when my youngest, she was just 2, still in a car seat, and she was starting to speak, and she spoke with a lisp,
oh, cute.
and she had this big space between the teeth,
Yeah.
2 front teeth that came in, and we're in the car, and she's like, "What was your, what pels, what pels, what pels, what pels? And I'm like, what? I don't know what you're saying. She goes, pels, pels. And I'm like, I don't know. And she goes, you can't pel that? And I'm like, smells. And there was a skunk. We had gone by where like a skunk had got hit or something.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was kind of a way back. There was just still a little bit of lingering, in the car to where it wasn't as strong as it. So I just wasn't putting it together. But she was like, you can't pel that?
How cute.
It just
what
sounded out
is
for you.
wrong with you? And I just remember like,
That's so cute.
and it was through frustration. Like I was, because I was driving. I was even thinking because she was screaming at me. I'm like, and she wasn't screaming anymore because it smelled. She was screaming and angry because I couldn't understand her.
Yeah.
And she's like, I'm speaking
I was,
so clearly.
I was ready
How
to
do you
pull
not
over.
get this?
Yeah. I mean, it was one of those definite significant mom moments. I mean, I was ready to pull over to like get in the back. Like, I'm going to have to pull over and get in the back of the minivan and talk this out. Like,
Yeah.
what
What
are
do
we
you
talking?
mean?
Because obviously you're very frustrated with me and I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
That's little Audie's thing right now is she's starting to like learn more sounds for words. And so like
Aw.
my favorite thing is when she's asking for water, she can't fully connect the sound water. So it's wah, wah.
Oh.
I love that.
And then it's so cute because when you do finally connect what she wants, she just gives you this big smile. She's like, yeah.
Yeah.
Like, that's what I want.
Do you write all this down?
I should.
You
I
should.
really
Oh,
should.
I
keep a
did.
diary,
Even if you have like,
yeah.
I don't know if you have one of those calendars. They always do the first year calendar. And
I wish I would've
just
done
do a
that.
calendar every year and just in the little square, just put Wawa. You know what I mean?
Oh
Just-
my
that's all you have to do.
And then it'll
And it's
click.
simple.
Even
Yeah.
20 years down the road,
Yeah.
you'll say, "Oh, I remember
Okay,
that."
I really should do that.
It's really simple to do. I did it with
Yes.
the girls for quite a while.
Yeah.
So
That would be
So cute.
Because there's all these like, huge, maybe
you
not
think
huge,
you'll
but these
remember 'em all.
milestones
Yeah.
that
Yeah.
they hit every other day.
Yeah.
And you'd forget. They're great at the moment, but you probably
you
forget
do,
them in the
and
next
do.
week
but they're so
because
big at the moment.
there's
You think you'll
another-
forget. You'll remember them.
Right. No,
But you-
you're so right about that. I
you don't.
did make her a book for every month until she was 12 months. And in
Yeah.
the back of the book, I'd write like, major milestones
Mhm.
and things
Aw.
like
I think you
that.
should
love
keep that up,
But
or
maybe I
something
should
every
keep doing
6
it.
months or every 3 months.
Yeah.
Do it quarterly.
Yeah,
because that
quarterly,
will
I
be
like it.
really fun to revisit that with her when she's older,
It
and
will
with
be.
and with your husband. And
Yeah.
It is because
Like an extended baby book.
It is,
Yeah.
'cause
Yeah.
the two that have had babies now, I've given them their baby books and stuff, that I had kept track of.
Yeah.
And it's just fun. It's just fun
Yeah.
to share it with them.
Yeah.
Do you guys, it's weird. So when we went to visit my mom recently, we watched all of our family videos from when we were kids because
I love
we
it.
got them digitalized because
Oh,
they were
that's neat.
VCRs
Yeah.
forever.
Okay.
And then we, turned them into DVDs, which that was even a struggle trying to find a DVD player to watch them.
Oh,
But
March has two.
well, yeah, but we were in Arizona. But
Oh, I'd
so we
mail
should
you
have.
They don't make them in Arizona.
I'll
Okay.
mail. I'd
You could
UPS.
mailed it. But my question was gonna be: do you think that when your baby Otter is older, how are you gonna show her some of these videos? Do you think you could make some cute video from your phone videos? Are they gonna?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how it's so hard to
It's gonna be different.
I
like
have a
you would
couple
have
of
never
ideas for you
predicted
guys.
Smarge that
Yeah.
the technology 30
Right.
years ago would have gone from VHS to these digital
things on your
Right?
your hands.
So
Right.
we can't
We can't.
fully imagine what it's going to look like, but I'm
Yeah.
sure we'll be able to.
I mean, you could show them on
Transfer
your
it, however,
phone,
yeah.
But
Which
I just
leads-
wonder because it was so
What a-
easy back
yeah.
then to just pop in a DVD and watch all these cute videos of, because
Yeah.
you'd always just pull out your camcorder whenever you're
Right.
at Christmas or on a vacation,
And then it's
or
just
something.
recording back to back to back.
However-
and so nowadays we can
Right.
record every
Exactly.
second of
Right.
every
Yeah.
day. So it's there's almost too much content.
Agreed. I think AI will be really clever
Yeah.
by then, though, because already
We won't be
on your
struggling with it
phone,
the way
you
we
can
are.
type
Right.
in in your photo app border collie, and
Right.
it'll show you all the pictures and videos you have, or even if there's a word and a paper in the corner of the picture that said border collie, it'll show you that.
That's
so I
true.
think AI is
Yeah.
gonna probably get better.
Maybe. Yeah.
Or-
Yeah.
I don't know.
I think, we
That's
have
my
growing
theory.
pains to go with that, to go through
Oh,
with
yeah.
that, But what a great segue you set up for old Smarge over here, Hoss. Because
You're welcome. I was
What-
completely intentional.
I'm kind of thinking on my laundry list next is growing the podcast a little bit. Keeping Dirty Laundry, Clean Confessions.
Yeah.
But then also having a little business on the side
Yeah.
Side hustle.
and
All about the
having
side
it
hustle.
kind of like your. I want to put it out there because it's such a great idea, but
Then
I don't think anybody will take it. But,
Gatekeep
you
it.
know.
No, yeah.
Okay, what I will say is you said, what do you think it'll be like for Otter and all the other grandsuds in 20, 30 years? How are we going to share our stories and stuff? There is one thing I'm certain of now. I believe the internet will always be there.
Pretty sure you're right on that.
I can't go anywhere.
I'll give
So-
you that. Yeah.
If we put our memories somehow through that might be what we start sharing.
Mm-hmm. Like in the cloud.
Right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Or even putting together, instead of a family album with pictures, put together a family album through podcast
Mm-hmm.
and have grandpa and grandma tell the stories
Mm-hmm.
that they remember of their parents, and then have their kids tell the stories to their, you
Yeah.
could do this in a generational way. You could do this in so many ways. And yeah, you don't have to put on the internet. It can go through their own little platform they put up for the family or whatever. But actually, the first thing when you're grieving the loss of someone, the first sense you lose of them, I've read, is the hearing of their voice.
Really?
Used to be.
yeah.
Used to be.
Oh.
I believe that.
However, that's changed in the last 20 years because everybody has voicemail now. And guess what? A lot of people
Yeah.
choose to keep those and
Yeah.
not erase them. And we had before that in the 90s, that's when we had voicemail on the tapes kind of coming in.
Right.
People were keeping those as long as they
Yeah.
could. But it used to be you'd miss their voice first.
Wow.
And that's changing. And that got me thinking about grandpa and grandma telling their story like in a podcast form or something for
Yeah.
next generations or whatever.
And there's so many stories that I would want to hear from even my grandparents,
Mhm.
and my dad, and like,
And how cool
all those
is it
people
to be in a family's voice?
Yeah, in their voice, telling
Yeah.
their story from their perspective. Oh, so
Because
cool.
That's super
my
neat.
family somewhere down the line put together like kind of like a slideshow on a DVD and then a story of the family, but it was being narrated by someone we didn't know.
Oh,
And I thought,
That's
how
interesting.
it must have been a company that does this,
Yeah,
that
yeah,
puts it
yeah.
out or something.
Yeah.
And I thought, how cool it would be if our family stories were told by our family members,
yeah.
and you
that
add
idea.
to it.
Yeah.
So that is what Smarg is going to be working on
I love
I
it.
love that next cycle for you.
on
Smarge.
that
I really
on
do.
that laundry list.
Yeah.
So yeah,
Yeah.
it'll be fun.
Yeah, you
Because I
always
think
have.
that's what keeps us, well, that's what makes us human. That's what's important to us. And some days I don't care, I care about our podcast, but some days I see our NTRG and just the fact that they got to tell their story,
Yeah.
they walk out just a little different than when they walked in, a little more confident, a
A
little
little brighter.
bright. Yeah.
on cloud
a little
nine.
more
And-
fluffed up.
And
Oh, yeah.
even if we're just here so people can just tell their ordinary stories, isn't that what humanity is missing right now?
100%. That's what makes humanity, right?
And that is what makes
we
it.
can
We can
tell
tell
our
our stories,
story.
and our stories do mean something to us.
And we give them a platform. to do that on.
Exactly.
Hopefully,
Yeah.
a fun platform and
Yeah,
exciting.
yeah. So
yeah.
yeah. Lattes,
And-
lap dances.
yeah, and we do a
times.
load of laundry for them, and
Yeah.
we provide a meal and drink and drug of their choice, illegal drug of their choice.
Sometimes.
Yeah. No, I think everything. We've
No,
never
they're
had an
all
illegal.
legal.
We've
No,
never had an
no.
illegal. Mushrooms are legal.
Yeah.
You just can't sell them.
Okay. Okay. I
You
like it. I like it.
Yeah. All legal.
No meth in here.
Yeah, you just can't
Yeah.
sell
No.
them.
No.
That's where we draw the line.
We draw
Yeah.
the line at injectables.
Well, you know what Grandpa Gary used to say? His drug advice to me was, this is like, I think it was 14 or 15. Hey, we need to have that drug talk. I said, okay. And he goes, needles, nose, no.
I love it.
And then he walked off.
That's solid advice.
Yeah, but I
For a
was
kid who
13 or
has no
14,
idea what
and
he's
I'm like, okay, no, from movies, needles, yeah, people do drug but I was a little confused about the nose thing, and
Oh,
then
really?
and then I kind of figured it out. But
Okay.
Yeah.
then it took me a little bit, but he was like,
Yeah.
needles, hey, we have to have that drug talk. Okay,
That was the talk.
needles, nose, no.
I mean,
Is
it's
that
not a
it?
bad talk.
It's
That
not
was it.
bad, but I think
There's
we got to
also-
add some things.
Yeah,
Hey,
like
for
meth,
where
you
he
can
was
smoke
from,
meth.
and for my
Yeah.
generation, and for where he was from, it was phenomenal.
I was,
It was a
yeah.
very
Yeah.
good.
No, I love
it
that.
was a very
quote.
good talk.
I'm
but
going to share that
it-
with Baby Oddie.
Like, do please share with all the grandsuds because it makes sense. I mean, you can argue at this and that, but it kind of gives you a guideline, I guess. I don't know. I just it just stuck with me.
That's good.
Obviously.
Keep it simple. You
yeah,
know?
obviously
Yeah.
it stuck with me. So
That's great.
And then, do we want to talk about like the podcast next chapter, next cycle? Because we do have
Yeah.
a new co-host joining us. He's not here with us today, but he will be here much more.
Yeah.
Yep.
He has actually been on the podcast a couple of
A
times.
couple of times. He's been in NTRG twice.
Yes, our very own C. Lou has joined forces with us.
And
Yes,
Smarg
we're
is
so excited to have
happy.
him.
Yeah, I
Yes.
feel like we have another baby
Yeah.
or something like, oh, come play with us. We're going to have so much fun.
Yeah.
And he called and he said, hey, it's time for me to start a new cycle in my life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can we work together? And I said, absolutely. And he's going to be putting out his own podcast. He hopes to have that up and running in July, August.
Exciting.
So, maybe we get to help him with that. And he's helping Smarg learn how to edit to take the pressure off of Haas.
Nice job, C. Lou.
So it's a slow process, but it's coming along.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It is.
It's coming along.
It's all a part
So,
of the plan.
Silu and I are going to have a little podcast introducing him and his ideas for his podcast and that type this
Yeah.
season. So, that'll
Stay
probably be
tuned. Stay tuned,
It
Suds
probably
Buds.
will be the next one, actually, thinking
Yeah.
about it. So, yeah,
Exciting new cycle for us.
Yeah.
it is.
Yeah.
It is.
I love watching
Do we have any
our
good
growth.
stories that we want to tell? Anything exciting that's happened lately? Or not exciting? Or
Do you want to
traumatizing?
tell your
Well, the
recent
bee thing was exciting.
your
but-
That
recent-
was exciting.
story about your
Oh my gosh.
housekeeper that you tried to hire?
yeah.
'Cause that's a pretty good story.
Yeah, I can tell that.
Yeah, you
story
know
real
how
quick.
Sud Buds, when you think, oh, I just want someone to come and clean my house, that would be so wonderful, and I'll just pick up the phone and get that.
Especially as a working mother who
Yeah.
just needs a break.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
you'd think it would be such a seamless,
Easy thing to do. Well, it is-
wonderful thing.
yeah, it is not.
Apparently not.
No, it didn't go down as well as I had hoped. So
Well, do tell.
Poor thing.
it's okay. Oh, you poor thing. You got your house cleaned.
Do tell. Well, no, but share your I guess before you even made it to like what you had to go through before you even made it to the laundry room, for God's sake.
Yeah, so my husband was really sweet and he bought me a deep cleaning for my birthday present. This was back in February, so a few months ago. And, I called to schedule the cleaning and they were kind of ghosting me. So long story short, I had called them and texted them several times. Sometimes they would answer, sometimes they wouldn't. So then I was like,
frustrating.
is it personal or are things just really going downhill for this business? So I contacted them on my work phone. And they answered and responded right away. They're like, oh, yeah, we want to come clean your house for you. And I'm like, oh, well, this is the same person that's been trying to get a hold of you for a couple of weeks now. And I think that made it kind of awkward. But then we did get something scheduled. And after...
So wait. So you contacted her differently and she answered right away?
Yeah.
I contacted
okay,
her with a
okay.
different phone number.
Oh.
And she responded right away. So then it did feel personal.
Then
Yeah.
I was going to say, how does that not feel personal?
Well, it was because she was using the Groupon.
We had a Groupon, and I know businesses sometimes lose money on a Groupon, but hey, if you don't want to lose money on the Groupon, then don't use the Groupon. It's
Yeah.
not my fault that you put a Groupon out there and we purchased it.
Also, you're running the risk of giving yourself a bad name.
That's what I was saying.
Like,
I'm like,
what the heck,
the whole point
lady?
of a Groupon is to get reoccurring business.
Yeah.
So why would you disrespect the people that are getting Groupon?
Yeah.
If this woman actually was super responsive, you would probably be hiring her once a year or
Yeah.
once every 6 months.
Oh, but
or-
it gets worse. So it's not just she ghosts me and then she realized oh, I need to get back to the person.
right.
We schedule a cleaning. She cancels because her father died. And I totally understand. I'm like, oh my gosh, I get it.
Yeah.
Take all the time you need. Contact me when you're ready. And then 2 weeks go by and I don't hear from her. So I'm like, hey, I just, just want to say I do want to get this scheduled sometime in, the next couple of weeks. No
Right.
rush. And so then we finally get something scheduled. And it's the morning of the cleaning. And it is pummeling snow outside. And so I just text because I had made arrangements for my daughter and my dog so they wouldn't be in her way. And I just confirmed okay, you're going to come by and clean the house today. And I don't hear from her, but I'm okay, I'm assuming she will show up, drop the dogs off, drop the daughter off.
So you've put a lot of effort in to help her job go a little smoother.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
I had to make arrangements. So
Okay.
she didn't have to, I was trying to help her out. Help me to help you.
Right.
And then after I drop everybody off, I get a text from her with a picture of the tire, a blown out tire. And she's like, oh, we're not going to make it today. Sorry, this just happened this morning. And I would have been totally understanding if, it was snowing. I could understand that. But the picture she sent me was taken in broad daylight. You can tell it's
At,
the middle
noon.
of the day in the hot, hot sun. And I'm looking outside my window and it is blizzarding outside. Not like blizzarding so bad you can't drive, but it is clearly snowy. And I'm like, this picture was not taken this morning. This picture was clearly either taken yesterday or not anytime soon. So I did kind of call her out on it. And I was just like, I really wish you would have given me a bigger notice.
Yeah.
Like it's just a big heads up because I did make arrangements. And she's like, oh, well, this just happened. We have an underground garage. So that's why the
Out in the
sun's shining in
sunlight?
the picture. And I'm like,
Underground garage, that's why the sun's shining?
it was clearly
If you're
a lie.
underground.
It
But
was-
no, but how does that even make sense in the
doesn't.
English language?
It makes no sense, Marge. It makes no sense.
Who do these people think they are? Who
I'm-
do they think they're dealing with?
Well, yeah, who do they think they're dealing with? I'm not Otter. They didn't know they were messing with Otter. I'm pretty sure they hadn't even looked outside their window that morning when they sent that picture. And then they were trying to like backtrack, like once they realized,
yeah.
it's snowing and we just sent her a picture saying that our tire blew out in the sun.
She has that
That is
picture in her
so-
phone for circumstances like that.
Exactly.
Like maybe that did happen 6 months ago, but
yeah.
If you guys are wondering what the background noise was, sorry. Just getting a little weed out.
I'm just gonna mute you a little bit.
No, I'm good now. It's all here.
But so anyway, finally she said she felt bad. She scheduled an appointment for the next week. I did text her the day before just confirming, hey, like before I make all these arrangements, are you
Before
really
I
coming?
bust my ass to make your job easier.
Because
And-
she not only bailed once but twice now.
Well, she ghosted
Three-
me and then
three
Right.
times,
Exactly.
Which,
Yeah.
which is courteous of you, too. I mean, if I were her at this point, why isn't she texting you a couple days before going, hey,
Right.
I
Like
just wanted
confirming
to
I
check
am
in with you. Yeah.
coming. Yeah. Anywho, so she it took her like almost like, I don't know, 8 hours to get back to me to be like, oh yeah, we're coming tomorrow. Like, and it was funny because when she replied to my text, she was like, hey, this is the text confirming that we're coming tomorrow. Like she was initiating the reach out when I reached out to her first. I don't know. This lady is just
that is
something
just
else.
runaway. Red flag, red
I
flag.
know. I almost wanted to like just cancel and see if we could get our money back, but I didn't know which one sounded like a bigger nightmare.
Yeah, honestly.
But so she did show up, but several times before she showed up, the first time I had called her, and then 2 times after she had left, 2 times later, she texted me, just a reminder, there's a $20 travel fee and gratuity is greatly appreciated. Hey, by the way, just a reminder, we charge $20 upon arrival for our travels, and there is a greatly appreciated gratuity. Like I showed
You're-
off
yeah.
the text messages.
It's very
And then after,
aggressive.
even after she left, she was like, hey, did you send the tip yet through Zelle? Hey, did you send the gratuity yet through Zelle? And I'm like, why are you so desperate?
It's like at
I
this
couldn't even
point,
get you
bro.
over to my house to clean it. And now
Okay.
you're like demanding a tip and
So-
a $20 travel fee.
Did you give her a
Yeah, she did.
not a recommend? What do you call it? A
A review?
review.
I really thought about it.
You need
but-
to. No one else needs to go through that
Well,
shit.
True.
apparently
People like that need to be called out on their shit.
She looked at the reviews on the Groupon afterwards and realized
After
there
the
were some
fact.
pretty negative reviews
Yeah.
on there.
Well, I would have
so-
added to it, but good.
don't know.
I'm
I
glad
mean,
you
I'm
looked.
tempted.
You
I'm
still
glad you looked.
can.
So
I mean, the last time I left a negative review was after I had a botched wax.
Ooh.
It was right before going to Cabo, Smarg.
oh my gosh.
They literally burnt me.
Oh my god.
Oh,
Can you
Brazilian wax
explain
is literally
to
burnt.
Can you explain to our grandsuds, if they are listening this in 20 or 30 years, what a Groupon is?
Oh, a Groupon is like a service where you can go and find, it's kind of like a coupon, but it's like a digital coupon. And so companies like sign up with Groupon agreeing to, like, Groupon can sell them business at a discounted rate. So the company does lose a little bit of money, but like Haas mentioned, the idea is like to promote their business further.
Right.
and to like get new clients.
Right.
Which,
know?
Which
is-
this lady is not using it correctly.
yeah. And I mean, so I don't know, Groupon can be really hit or miss because, yeah, I had a bad wax one time on Groupon.
That's horrible.
I had a weird massage one time.
A weird
Oh
massage.
my
God.
goodness.
Weird. Do tell.
Is this a confession or a skid mark session?
I don't even know if we should include this. It
Did it get sexual?
no.
Was there a
no,
happy
no.
ending?
No.
How does that work with you? I've never heard of a woman getting a happy ending.
Oh God, yeah. that
Found
was-
the G spot.
I mean, it was just I don't know. It was like in a
I didn't know it was there.
like, in a creepy basement, and
What-
Okay,
Why
red
did
flag.
you stop?
Why did you go into that
stop.
basement?
You
I
don't
don't
go
know.
into the. Don't you watch movies where you're like, don't do that, and their
know.
kids? How old were you?
I was probably in my early 20s.
Okay.
No,
Do you never watch
I
a
didn't
scary
have any
movie?
money. But
I
really
didn't have any money, but I needed a massage. But I
really
thought
needed a
death or massage. Okay.
God, Haas,
don't
I would have
know.
given you a massage for free if I knew that.
Well, I didn't know until I got there, right? So I'm already there. I'm like, I already
We would
paid
have
for this.
started
It's
a
already-
fund me for you.
It's
for
already
God's sake.
scheduled. I'm like, what do I do? And so I'm like checking in with this girl in like this barely lit basement. I'm like, what the fuck is this? And I go in there, and then my masseuse is a male, which I wasn't expecting. And then he was also like disabled. So I think, I don't know. It was really weird.
Wait, okay, I'm sorry. Was he in a wheelchair?
He had crutches.
Did he have a
things.
strong hand?
I think he had like MS or something. He had
Look,
like
I feel bad laughing.
I do
really
too. That's
do,
why
but-
this
But
is
then you
fucked up.
wonder. But then you wonder, like,
I don't know.
read the room or stay in your own lane.
I
I don't
also
know what do
feel
you say,
like-
but maybe was it a good massage? No.
No.
Okay.
I don't think so. I think
Keep
I was
going.
just on
We need to
edge
hear more.
the whole time. I'm
Well,
sure he
I'm
was.
sure he was like, you feel really tense.
You
What's
keep-
wrong?
I felt bad that this guy was massaging me. I'm like, do you need to like sit down? Like, I don't know. I don't
Yeah.
know really what. I don't know. I'm sure he was just really wanted to live his dream as a masseuse, but I was like, this doesn't seem like your goal,
Well,
dude.
red flag
Like,
right there is masseuse. I think the proper term is massage therapist, and masseuse is more of like a sexual thing. I think massage therapists get like highly offended when you call it a masseuse.
Oh.
Sorry.
So I don't.
know.
Maybe it really was a masseuse
Oh.
though, and maybe that's where this all went wrong.
I don't know.
Well, stay tuned.
Anyway,
Anyway, we
I
will
feel
find out
really
what the
bad
proper name
about
is for a
The whole
a
thing.
disabled massage therapist. We will find out what that label is.
I don't
Maybe
know
we just
why.
delete that whole story.
No, I love it.
but
That's
I had to tell you
hilarious.
guys because it was.
Where do you
weird.
go? Like, I don't know. I mean,
Anyway, so Groupon's
good
hit
for
or
him
miss.
for trying,
Hit or
and
miss.
maybe it
Hit
didn't
or-
work out, and he went on for something else for his next chapter
And
in
maybe
life.
he turned out to be great. I don't know. I
Maybe
think
you
it
were his
just-
first
yeah.
customer.
You
Maybe he knew he had to get out of the basement before he invited more women.
Yeah.
Oh dear,
Anyway,
dear.
Anywho, if anyone knows of a reputable cleaning company, hit me up.
or a reputable massage
Massage
therapist.
therapist, yeah, because sometimes Groupon can burn you, literally.
Ah, ayo.
Ho ho.
Yeah, that's horrible.
She left that iron on
Um,
too long, huh?
Yeah.
But yeah, what other updates do we have to share? Was there a specific update you were thinking of when you were like, what updates do we have?
I don't think so. I just wanted to shoot the shit, really. You know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, just excited
Yeah.
for season 4.
We do have a guest signed up to talk about his therapeutic and healing experiences with ayahuasca. He went to a place in Mexico.
That's so
He
cool.
went to a place in Mexico. So
I've always wanted to do that.
he talks about how it's not like it's not a recreational thing. This is a healing and therapeutic way of hoping to
wire.
rewire your neurological pathways in your brain.
Yeah.
Like a lot of people with PTSD have success with this. A lot of people
Cool, yeah.
who've been in abusive situations have
Yeah.
success. So
cleansing.
yeah, so that's going to be interesting.
I
What else
also
do we have?
I have an idea that I want to put out there, but I don't know
Oh,
if
do.
I don't know if Haas and Smarg will let me.
Yeah, what?
I,
Yeah.
do you
Go.
see Smarge and Haas saying no very often?
No.
I desperately want to do a prank phone call.
Oh, yeah.
But a good
Smarge
one.
is out.
A
Smarge
nice one. A nice one.
I'm in.
Smarge is scared.
Smarge, did you hear
And
my
not,
idea?
you know what? Smarge has been to 3 county fairs, and now I'm freaking frightened. You guys scare me when you do that prank calling. You guys
But
scare.
this one's not
the
going to
crap
be a scary one. Did you hear my idea?
Yeah, it's good.
It's funny,
It's
right?
funny, yeah.
Okay.
Stay tuned. Stay tuned.
Okay. Smarge will be observing from afar.
We
The top deck.
Yeah.
Otter and I used to do these all the time.
And
growing up.
a couple times it got taken too far, and somebody thought somebody was hurt, and then their kids found out, and it was
All
just
right,
the whole
all right.
deal.
Well,
It
we
was
don't
not
gotta
good.
talk about that part.
It wasn't good. So Smarge just
One little mistake.
Smarge just had a huge tumble in her tummy.
Not sure why Otter had to take the fall for that. That was
Yeah. but
Mr. T was
hey,
equally a part of that.
he was completely. You know why? Thank you. From one woman to another.
Yes.
Mr. T.
Oh, love you,
love
Mr. T.
him.
I really do.
All the family's happy, healthy. We're getting ready for a wedding. So exciting. The grandsons are doing great.
Yeah, they're
we have a new
growing quick.
host.
Mm-hmm.
Mama Otter is working into the groove of being a mom and working.
Yeah. Yeah.
Everybody's like doing pretty good.
We are.
It's going
We're all
well.
doing amazing.
Yeah.
The podcast has grown so much.
I
And
know.
it keeps growing every day.
I know.
Yeah.
It's so cool. It's so cool to see it
Yeah.
blossom. Into
And
what
also,
it's
Sudbuds, we're
become.
putting out shorts now, which we weren't doing before on YouTube.
Oh, yeah.
And then
Yeah.
also reels. Is that what they're called on Instagram?
Insta. We're up in those.
Smarg is still a little frightened to get on Instagram. I don't know if she will ever get on Instagram.
We'll get
again.
you there.
Well, you
I'll get
were
you
on
there.
Insta. I'm not sure what happened, but.
I got suspended for stalking.
What?
Did
You
hear
haven't
this?
I
heard
have
this?
not heard this story.
Are you
Yes.
kidding me?
No, do tell. Do tell.
You've heard.
That's
this.
why you're
Okay,
not
do
on
you have time-
Instagram anymore.
Well, now I can get back on, but now I'm afraid to get back on. But no, I was totally kicked off. So
For
what
stalking.
was
Were you
hap-
stalking Willie Nelson?
I was
No.
stalking Teddy Swims and a 3-year-old little girl.
Wait, what?
She was DMing them
Well, okay, look, hold up.
constantly.
Let me defend myself, please. Okay.
This is also partially my fault. So
Oh my
Go
god.
ahead.
I
So,
love
hey,
that.
grandsuds, if Instagram isn't around, I can tell you in the very beginning, or if it is still around in 20 years, I can tell you when it was very first came, it was not user friendly for my generation.
Okay, it's been out for like 15 years. It has not.
Still not user friendly for my generation. So, Smarg has her own Instagram account, and then the podcast has theirs. Thank God I don't touch that one. So, I was getting on my Instagram, and I was following Teddy Swims. I just think he's a great entertainer, musician. I was just,
Yeah.
it's fun. And
we all love Teddy.
so I was following him on that. And then also I was following this 3-year-old little girl, which she was just adorable. All coached and everything, but she would have on these big black glasses or something and her hair up and all messy and go, not every day can you be incredibly cute. You know what I mean? She was just so perfect, and she'd just cheer me up, right?
Yeah,
So I'd
yeah.
listen to her.
It's a good person to
So-
follow.
So a lot of times when you look at Instagram, you make a comment like, hey, I like that, or hey, that's fun, or I can relate.
yeah.
Okay. So
A
Smarg
comment.
was
As we
making
do
comments
on
left
social
and right.
media. Yeah.
And then every now and then, though, I would get this thing that would say, okay, you can't make a comment for 24 hours. And I thought that was weird.
You're violating some.
So
term.
I showed it to Haas. Haas said, I've never seen that before. I'm sure it's fine. Don't worry about it. I showed this to Poppy. I showed this to so many people because it kept happening to me, by the way.
Yeah, because you would
On this
be
little girl thing.
commenting
I'd be commenting. And then all of a
on
sudden,
Teddy
I was like, well,
Swim's
and I think
account.
it came up because you said, well, did you comment? And I said, well, I have to wait 24 hours. And she goes, what?
which I've never heard of.
I'm like, here. And there's like a strip that goes across it that says you have to wait 24 hours. I'm like, okay, whatever.
Because you're under an investigation.
So this keeps coming up. And then one day, pretty soon, I've been kicked off altogether. Like I've notified that you are no longer on Instagram. You can still, we'll keep your account, but it is no, you can't do anything. I'm like, okay. And then I'm thinking, is this going to like fuck up my credit rating? Like, is this, like, how is this? This sounds bad. This is going to affect me somehow really bad. So my youngest daughter kept hearing me talk about this, and we went to lunch. We didn't have the grandson with us. And I bring it up again, and she's like frustrated with me. And she goes, oh my God, give me your damn phone. Let me go through your phone. And she goes through my Instagram, and she's going through it for 10 minutes. And this is her across the table. And she's like, what the hell? Like, she's just looking alarmed. I'm like, am I going to get like, how bad is this? Like, what's going on? And she goes, okay, Mom. She said, see the paper airplane? And it was a little paper airplane button thingy. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She goes, you only use this if you know the person. And I don't mean, ha, 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 I know Teddy Swims. I mean, if this person's been in your house and you know them. See this bubble? And I'm like, what bubble? She goes, well, there we go. She goes, this bubble is if you want to leave a comment. And she goes, you, oh my God, have been DMing these people. And I said, that is not true. I know I haven't been DMing him because I don't know what the fuck DMing is. So I know I haven't been doing it. And she goes, DMing is texting. And I'm like, well, how did I get their number? She goes, not only were you texting Teddy Swims and you were texting, you got into this where you got their numbers and you were texting fans that were leaving comments of Teddy Swims.
What?
And this 4-year-old girl.
And this 3-year-old, her parents were probably like, oh my God. So if you ever do listen, I'm so sorry. That was not my intent. I thought I was commenting but somehow it got into
So
all
you were
these-
messaging them.
Yeah.
I was
Wow.
She
I was
would be like,
DMing them.
Oh wow, what a great video! Love Teddy or something.
Yeah, or
But she'd
can't
be
wait to
direct
see you at the.
messaging him.
But I was, and then somehow,
So you got blocked.
but
Basically.
somehow it also got into the fans that were commenting. I was DMing them.
Yeah, that's I don't
I don't know
really-
about that one.
Well,
I don't know
that's
how that
she's like,
happened.
I don't even know how you got here.
Yeah.
So I can say that was a year ago, and then Silu was with me last week, and we briefly got on to Instagram, and it is a little different.
Yeah.
That airplane isn't right there for everybody to be pushing.
They change it
See?
up every so often.
But I don't think Smarg was the only one with an issue. Anyway, I got kicked off for about 6 months.
I mean, a lot of people have been getting kicked off social media for various reasons, but I haven't heard of stalking yet. That's a new one.
well, it was
yeah.
something like investigate or I don't know. And then
Messaging
like,
3-year-old girls.
was not okay or bothering everybody else that follows. Like, yeah, I want to follow Teddy Swims, but I don't want to put up with this woman. Like, what the hell?
Yeah.
So sorry about that, but yeah. So
I apologize because I had no idea that that's what you were doing, and I just like brushed it
You
off.
just gave her the free reins. Here you go, Smart.
I really didn't think
Enjoy
have
Insta.
fun.
that was even a possibility. And when you brought that up, I was like, that's probably fine. You don't know what you're saying. It's
Yeah,
right.
yeah.
That's crazy.
yeah. You don't know technology very well. There's no way you're having.
She showed
And
me
what's so
the
funny, it's a
message.
white strip that goes across your Instagram, and the first square is like gray, and it's like 24 hours, and then it says you cannot respond for. And I'm like,
I had
what?
never seen that before. I didn't even think that maybe she was like,
Abusing social media.
yeah.
You know what? Smarg didn't know she was abusing social media either. Thank God I don't have a Facebook. Could have brought the whole damn thing down.
Honestly, Facebook doesn't care. I feel like I don't know.
I know. Well,
I think
Facebook and
Instagram is
Insta
a
are the
lot
same thing.
more.
They're owned by Meta.
Well, yeah, but Instagram, I feel like you get a lot more trouble for stuff.
I don't know.
I've only heard people getting kicked off of Instagram, but maybe that's just
Okay.
because our generation uses Instagram.
Well, I think that's
more.
what
Yeah.
it is because I know
Yeah.
some people who get put in Facebook jail.
Oh, that's a thing.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, that's what they call it because
I think that's where I was at.
the
Because
same
said,
thing. Like they said a word they weren't supposed to, or like
Oh.
because there's all these things now like where people can't post certain things. There's all these different codes for words, like especially ever since like COVID and like the vaccine. Like you can't straight up say like vaccine. People call that's why they
You know-
start calling
oh.
it the jab.
that was another exciting thing. The podcast now has an in-house attorney. I paid the retainer, and we have an attorney to talk to.
Very nice.
Isn't that nice?
Nice.
Yeah, I only had to buy her dinner and give her $1.
Love it. Oh, that's beautiful.
So.
Just because I do have questions about that.
Yeah.
I do too.
So
Cool.
But yeah, so I mean, I am so happy to be back.
I'm happy you're
Yeah.
back.
Season
I'm
4
happy you're
is-
back and
yeah.
handling Instagram.
Yes.
Thank you.
Yes, me and Silu and Haas will take over that for you.
we got it.
We don't need to get flagged again.
Yeah.
Mm-mm.
But anyway, if any of our followers want a specific topic that they've been wanting to learn more about, or a specific guest, or if you want to be on, or if you
Your
have some
grandpa wants to be on.
feedback, yeah, we're an open book.
We're still open for messages. So.
Yeah, we're still
Yeah.
open for messages. Email us.
Insta,
What's the email
YouTube.
again?
You can DM us if you really want. We
DM
won't,
if you know what that
we
means.
won't block you.
We won't block
Don't
you.
stalk us.
So what's the email address?
dirtylaundrycleanconfessions@gmail.com.
Yeah. And we have an in-house nutritionist, remember? And now we have an in-house lawyer. So,
Yeah.
if you have any legal questions, maybe we can help you. I don't.
Whatever
No.
you need. We have an
I
in-house.
mean, they have to be short, quick.
We have an
legal,
in-house nurse.
Actually, legal laundry
we have
questions.
an in-house surfer. We have an
Yeah.
in-house marketer.
Yeah.
We have
got it
an
all.
engineer.
Yeah. Oh, we have an. Yeah.
I don't
we
even know
got-
who the engineer is.
Well,
Poppy.
Oh, is that
I mean,
what he does?
technically, right?
Yeah. The can man.
I just think
yeah.
of him as a big business guy, big
Yeah.
business guru.
big
Yeah.
business guy in the cloud.
Well, he's
up
our
there.
he's our
Yeah.
tech support.
He's a lot. He's a lot.
engineer. He's a main
Jack of all
contributor
trades.
to
He's the
sponsorship.
Yeah, he's the financial back.
He's the financial guy. He's the money man. So he's a little bit of everything.
Yeah.
Oh, he's our cook. He brings
Yeah.
us food.
Oh yeah, he's just amazing.
And he really keeps the podcast.
I don't know
going,
when
so
this
shout out,
podcast will
shout out
air,
to Poppy
but
G.
Poppy has a birthday coming up in
Oh,
a few
yeah.
days. So happy, very early birthday, or by the time you listen to this, very late birthday.
Yeah,
Poppy G.
It'll be.
It'll be
we
late
hope you
birthday.
enjoyed your birthday. We're
Yes.
sure you will.
And we love you.
We love you and thank you so much, Poppy,
Thank you so
for
much
everything.
for us.
Yes.
Yep.
All right.
Okay, well, thank you so much for tumbling with us, Sudbuds and Haas and Otter. And here's season 4. Looking so forward to it.
Here's to season 4.
Woo.
Can't wait.
DLCC out.
We're all done now. Thanks for taking the chance. Hope y'all enjoyed this wash and rinse your dirty laundry.
Hey, before we wrap up this spin cycle, Haas and I would like to give a quick shout out to those listeners who may be famous. We really do adore you, and even though you do not qualify as an NTRG, not the real guest, we would always love to hear from you. This is Smarg and Haas, keeping it sorted, keeping it real, from the family laundry room.
Dirty laundry.
Clean confessions.
Dirty laundry.
Clean confessions.
Dirty laundry.
Oh, clean confessions.
Dirty laundry.
Clean confessions.
Dirty laundry.
Oh, baby, clean confessions.
Dirty laundry.
Mercy, baby.
Dirty laundry.
Come clean on me, baby.
Dirty laundry.
Clean confessions.
Dirty laundry.
Yeah, baby. Got your confessions right here.
Dirty laundry.